Over time, I've noticed people are extremely biased when it comes to the old-fashioned Tekken games, right? Normally, you have your favorites. You have ones that have done well with everyone. Some might like them, some don't. You have games that sold poorly, but the community is good with it. It's just an all-around like thing with this series, especially. And with recent events, I feel like it's always important to address certain things where it's like no matter what, hey, you can't deny factual proof. Like for example, let me start with like the first one, and I really think this one is like a statement that everybody can look up and just be proven right. This game right here, Tekken Tag Tournament 2. There is a reason I'm putting this at D. The reason I'm putting this at D, right? It's not because you just have a hate for that game. You must not have played it that much. No. It's everything about Tag Tournament 2 that gives it a D. It's the broken combos, the wrongfully Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is going in D. I know I might receive a lot of hate for that, but like truly hear me out when I say this. It was an okay game, to say the least. It's one of those games where if you see it at an arcade, you'll play it. But then when you're playing it, you're like, okay, it's an arcade game. Obviously things are gonna work differently than it would like a modern game. Like for example, you wouldn't expect King of Fighters at all to play like an older Tekken game. No, you wouldn't expect that. Like let's say the recent King of Fighters and the previous Tekken game before, I'd say before 6, yeah. Those two are gonna play extremely different. Not only are it's 2D versus 3D, but the overall mechanics weren't taken as seriously as they are now. It's just the way the times are. Also, a lot of people want to point out that, oh, this is my favorite Tekken game. It's the greatest thing ever. And it's just like, I don't believe you. Because if I'm taking what you're saying, it's that over everything, you prefer this. It's like, okay, cool. Some of you might be telling the truth. But the sales of that game were poor. And you like truly have to realize everybody enjoys Tekken 7, which I do myself. But because of Tag Tournament 2, you didn't get a Tekken Tournament 7. Hell, Tag Tournament 2 almost canceled everything completely from that. From the sales, how it was perceived, and especially when it came to like the FGC. Some people in the FGC, now they love it, but I promise you back then, they were either forcing themselves to play it and had a strong hate for it, or they themselves were wondering like, hey, this game is kind of wonky and broken. Like MKX, for example, everybody loved that on paper, but when it came to actual like playing mechanics, you can tell like, hey, this has a lot of ways to be fixed. Now, moving on, and I'm not gonna be doing these in any type of order, by the way. I know like that's how people normally do them, but me personally, we're being different. So I'm going to pick the most random one on this list. Tekken X Street Fighter. It's going in. It's alright. Now, the concept of a crossover game is bringing two different entities into one space and making them work properly together. In Tekken X Street Fighter, they did a decent job at that. I'm not gonna lie to you. If anything, I'm considering putting this at B, but I'm gonna put it at a strong C because like obviously there were small things that could have worked on. For example, I feel like they had a unique combo system, like a unique fighting system at all around, but they didn't utilize it properly. There was this one thing, and it's been a while since I've played this actual game, but I'll probably put a picture of what it is right here. But it was a fun mechanic, but they didn't utilize it properly. The best way I can describe that mechanic was you get a star in Mario. You know what happens. The rainbow flash and all that. you know what you do and all that. And at that moment, you're overpowered. You can do everything you want to do for that set amount of time. They had a mechanic similar to that in this fighting game, but it just wasn't like utilized properly. It kind of felt broken. It didn't feel right. Like, how do I say it? It was like, the best way I can describe it is when you go to your favorite restaurant, right? You know what you're getting. You're getting your usual. The person that makes it isn't there, and someone else is cooking it. It tastes okay, but it's not that feeling of what you're used to. And based on that alone is why I'm putting like Tekken X Street Fighter at C, because like it was a great concept. It was an okay thing. I loved it personally, but overall, you have to admit that it was just okay. It wasn't the greatest thing ever. It was just like, oh, okay, you know. Like if I go into an arcade right now and I see Tekken X Street Fighter or Tag Tournament 2, I'm gonna be like, I wouldn't mind playing either or. They're both fun. Next on the list, ladies and gentlemen, you might hate me for this take, but I'm gonna stand on it. And yes, it is a personal bias. Hear me out. Before you get your pitchforks, before you start already disliking the video, just really hear me out. Tekken 8 is still in its current life. There's areas to improve, there's areas to upgrade, there's areas to overall just become stronger than it needs to be at this current moment. Comparing Tekken 8 to the previous games, if you want my honest opinion, I'd say it's done a lot better. Because even when 7 was, at the end of its lifespan, there were still major issues that needed to be fixed. And I still do think that if they would have focused a little bit more on balancing the game and like way of life, it would have still been like a year or two longer and had like the same amount of fame, same amount of hype and everything. They just needed to fix certain issues, in which they didn't. Like certain characters still had these broken and busted moves that when you went to play the game competitively, what was the point of even trying to like block or counter it? Because my turn is just up after that. Like Akuma, for example, we've all seen that popular scene in the FGC of what happened with Akuma. But like I said, it's just like certain things had to be fixed in that game versus 8. 8 has the potential to be the best, if not one of the best Tekken 8s at the moment. They're still doing changes and fixes. They're still balancing it. But the reason, and I know I'm going to contradict everything I said with this game overall, it's going into A. Right? And it's not because I hurt myself out. It's going into A because one thing that all the Tekkens had beforehand was customization. And I feel like that's a huge part of what's going on now. It's like you're able to make your character look and do whatever you want. And yes, Tekken 8 does have like a strong design for that and like a strong layout of what you can do at the moment. But certain things didn't transfer over from last game and like the previous games before that. And in the previous games, you just had to use in-game currency for that, which everybody was cool with. Now they want you to use actual money to buy the items which were available in previous games. And no, I'm not talking about DLC characters. No, actual clothing. It's like, I want to love that game. I do love that game. In fact, I believe that it has so much potential in it, but that's one of the strongest issues with Tekken 8 currently. And I feel like once that gets fixed, a lot of people will like understand like, hey, yeah, it does need a few changes, but overall it's still fun. Moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, Tekken 3D. Let's be honest, watch what I'm doing. Watch. I do this right. None of y'all niggas played 3D. None of y'all niggas played this shit. None of y'all. None of y'all genuinely played this game. And the reason I'm saying that you played this game was I don't believe any of you tried to sit there and do a Tekken combo on a 3DS. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's people now who found ways to hook up a somewhat modern controller to be able to play it. But it's like back then, I just can't imagine someone trying to, do a electric on a 3DS. Like, really imagine that. Their hands will, oh my god. And there's gonna be this one person out there that says, "Oh, I did it." Good for you. You're not the majority, gang. You probably did it and had a blast. Everyone else probably hated this shit. I'm putting this at worse, actually. What? Matter of fact, hold on. I know what to do. I'm just gonna hold on. How do I make this real quick? You're seeing this, and there we go. Fix that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after a few technical difficulties, I have fixed the list. Moving onward, people, we have Tekken 3. Now, I'm gonna do it. You know where Tekken 3 is going. We all know where Tekken 3 is going. Yep. Boom. Hear me out. Look at the release date for Tekken 3 and tell me it's not well designed for its time. Matter of fact, for a game made in 97, I would have to say it's one of the greatest games for its era. Tekken 3, how do I say this? Tekken 3 feels like playing a game that knows its true identity. The characters were fun to use. It gave new ideas to like the team behind the game in general. It expanded their horizon of what needed to be done. And they was like, okay, this is an arcade game, but at the same time, we can put in new characters. We can change some of the balancing issues, like because in Tekken 1, I believe like 2 punches and a kick did damn near your health already. And they fixed that. They improved the graphics for the time being, which is extremely crazy. They had better graphics in Tekken 3 than they did at some of the Street Fighter games at that time, which I find fascinating actually. But overall, I can't say I had much of an issue with Tekken 3. You got what you expected with Tekken 3, is for the time being. It's like Tekken 3 would be the favorite cousin that you have out of your family that you like hang out with constantly, You chill with them. They feel like an extra sibling to you. Death by degrees. Now, going to be honest, I can't give a proper opinion on the game for 2 reasons. Well, no, actually 3, and I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1, I feel like overall, not a lot of people have played that game, and maybe if it got a remake, it'll do great. Maybe decent. It'll do decent numbers for the Tekken community. That's reason 1. Reason number 2 is I personally never physically owned the game growing up. I emulated that shit, nigga. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And number 3 would just be because my opinion would be, it'd be all over the place. It's like maybe I'd enjoy it now. Maybe people hated it then. Maybe that's why we never gotten another like proper spin-off or games like that. Because if you want to be honest, you can make a spin-off just like that game based off of half the cast. Hell, Miguel and Jin alone can make an entire different game just on Miguel's hatred for Jin. And it's properly justified too. But I can't give an honest opinion on it, so I'm just gonna put it in nobody played this. Tekken 1. Great. Tekken 1 was like one of the very first few 3D fighting games. And if you want to bring up Bloody Roar, yes, I played Bloody Roar. It was fun. It was great. I personally enjoyed it. Well, to be honest with you, I think a Bloody Roar now would do numbers. You'd have a lot of people coming in from back in the day. You'd have a lot of new players get interested in it because it's something new that they haven't experienced in their lifetime. And not to mention, it'll just be a whole new experience. But Tekken 1 gave us the foundation, what to expect in the future, and basically it was just the overall building block of what we have today for the Tekken community. It's what you would expect from a game that nobody has heard of at the time, because let's be honest, at that time you had the Street Fighter, you had other stuff obviously, but the main line would be Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and then Tekken came out of nowhere and was like, hey, you're not only stuck to 2D, you can sidestep around the entire map if you want to, and that kind of brought in a lot of people, especially with the combos. So it's just like, I feel like that right there has earned it that spot, because the story was decent for the time too. Because if you compare Tekken 1 story to like the first Mortal Kombat game, let's be honest, the first Mortal Kombat game story, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna trigger some people, I'm gonna make some people hate me. Hell, you watching me have probably already hated me for putting that fucking Tekken Tag 2 in mid. But Mortal Kombat 1 story, not the one remake, but the old one story, was mid. No, I know I said it. With that, we're gonna move on to Tekken 7. Tekken 7. My honest opinion, honestly, my fault, I'm moving the wrong one. Tekken 7 going good. Tekken 7 wasn't even supposed to be a thing. Oh my god, you have no idea how much this game meant to the team Harada behind it. If you look up interviews as season 2 was being announced and characters coming out, you can see Harada smiling, and that is because of the major fuck up that was Tag Tournament 2. People didn't believe in him at all, actually, when they said, oh, we should make another game after the flop that was Tag Tournament 2. He made a major comeback, but besides him, Tekken 7 fixed everything that was wrong with Tag Tournament 2. Now, Tekken 7 definitely had some areas to improve, especially at the end of its lifespan. It still had a few areas to tweak and improve on. But everything wrong with Tag Tournament 2 is fixed in 7. Obviously, the combos, the character balancing, just the overall aesthetic of the game was amazing. And I feel like it deserves E, because like there were certain things that needed major improvement, especially in the FGC and professional like league of playing this game. It's just like, what's my purpose of learning to play this game and good at it if one move can get spammed and just fuck me over? And it's like, I feel like that was one small thing that, even though Tekken 7 is somewhat of a modern game, it still needed to fix. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you might hate what I'm about to do, but let's be honest. You didn't play that shit. You didn't play that shit. You didn't. Let's just stop the old angry, oh, I played it once before. No, you didn't. No, you did not. Let's just be honest here. Give me a hug. Let's talk it out. You know, I understand you're mad. Things might not be going your way, but you don't have to lie. You didn't play this shit, gay, and it's okay. I understand completely. Moving on, we have Tekken 5. like I said, man, Tekken 5 felt like a poorer version of. I'll say this without sounding hypocritical of myself. There was no difference between Tekken 4 and 5 besides the overall aesthetic and increased graphics. And I know a lot of people would hear that and be like, oh, you're lying, this is this and this. And it's like, no, Tekken 5 and Tekken 4, the exact same game. And I haven't even rated Tekken 4, but if you played it, please enlighten me on what you think. Because I think when I see Tekken 4 and 5, I see the exact same game. The only difference is one increased the overall quality of the game when it comes to graphics, fighting, everything, and one is the exact same thing, just a better graphic. And that's where I would fit putting 4. Putting 4 in, it's alright, but it's like rank this, 4 would be in front of 5 because the story wise, 4 did a lot of shit you wouldn't expect. 4 showed you, hey, this game can get dark pretty fast. And 5 was just like, well, I mean, hey, it got dark, yada yada. It was just 5 was trying to improve on what 4 did, but didn't really have a strong foundation. It was just all over the place. It's like 4, this is almost an own thing. But we can all love and respect that, and which personally I can too. Moving on though, we have Tekken Hybrid. And just in case you're wondering, what is Tekken Hybrid? It's a movie, and they remastered the first tag game. And with that said, I'm putting these two in the same area. Actually, I'm putting this right here and this right here. And here's the reason for it, right? Actually, let me be honest. Let me hear me out. Tekken Tag Tournament was a unique experience. It was something a lot of games hadn't done at the time. It's like, oh, what? We can play 2 characters at the same time, swap in, have combo. Oh my god, that's great. And the only thing at the time around this lifespan was Dead or Alive. I'm thinking correctly though. It's like, oh, let's make this our foundation, because nobody saw an area to do that except for them. And it's like the overall combo system that you see in like the popular franchises, popular like versions of games, like for example, Mortal Kombat 9. Everybody loved Mortal Kombat 9. Some people could even say Mortal Kombat 9 buddy or partner system is equivalent to the first tag tournaments. Or you could say that, oh yeah, I like to play King of Fighters, but I like how that I get one round with one character and then one round with a different one. I can respect that. Overall, it's your genuine opinion, and I think Tag Tournament, for what it's worth, first one was good. You got a new experience, some characters that you didn't expect to see in there, and just an overall, it was good. Good first time. But Hybrid, it's literally just the remaster plus a movie. And when I say remaster of Hybrid, I mean all they did was really just increase the graphics. There wasn't much they can do for it at the time. But yeah, they're where they deserve to be at. Next, Tekken 6. It's not going in great. It's not. It's Tekken 6 gets a good. There's a reason Tekken 6 gets a good, and it's really important to hear me out. Tekken 6 could have been improved a lot. Definitely could have. For example, you might have noticed in Tekken 7, some of your combos are the same in 8. You might have noticed how, hell, a combo or two from Tekken 7 transferred over for your favorite character in 8. But in Tekken 6, it's like there was a disconnect in certain combos that was there for, hell, the second, third, and fourth game. The fifth, it was just like, you know what, let's not put it in there. Let's give them a completely new set of stuff to do, which is fine. It's their fighting game. But let's put it in Tag Tournament 2 and tell nobody that it should have been in 6 instead of, like, what? It was an awkward situation. It definitely could have, been improved on all the way around. I don't think that the company like truly realized that a lot of issues would have been resolved. They did. Great customization, decent lobbies, decent experience and ranked. The FGC for this game was alright. It was nice. It was a nice little experience. The FGC for this game was the equivalent of what Guilty Gear is at the moment. It was nice, balanced. Sometimes they listened to the community. Just a peaceful experience to be around. And I think it goes in good because of that. Because at that time, that was probably some of the could be debated as Tekken. Besides some of the broken combos. You didn't play that. You didn't play that. A lot of you didn't. I don't think a lot of you played that. I don't think a lot of you have played that. It's one of them games. It's like, oh, I played it as a kid. I played it once or twice in passing, but I don't remember everything that could have been good about it or how it was. So I'm just gonna do us all a favor and put that in the mid. You want an honest, unbiased opinion of Revolution? Alright. Tekken Revolution was, they were trying to fix everything they messed up on, and which they somewhat did. They probably balanced it out. But it was just like, hey, you've already fucked a majority of the portion up. It's like, even if you fix it, it didn't already done so much damage to the game. It's, how do I describe this? Tekken Revolution was what happened with DNF Duel. Players were telling you what was wrong and what to fix. And it's like, you fixed it eventually, but you fixed it too late. For example, DNF Duel they were getting told over and over again what was happening, and it didn't get fixed until like a year later. You know how lazy it is? You have a game with online, not the old PS2. No, we're talking about online here. PS3 online. It's in the FGC. It's getting played competitively. It's getting played for money. All this, that, and the third. And you don't make updates to it until last minute, literally the week before. And it's like, yeah, a lot of players aren't going to play that. It's going to lose everything important about it. But it really did it had a strong foundation on what to improve on, and they did. But it was just kind of too late, and it's like, it gets the alright because today, we know what you were trying to do, and you did it. But came out a little too late, just a little bit. Tekken 2. Tekken 2 is getting put in good because that is one of the few fucking games they actually show love to different characters outside the main trio. Main trio being Kazuya, Heihachi, and fucking Jin. And you remember like, oh yeah, Jin wasn't born then. Yeah, he wasn't. But they keep showing love to only those three after he was born. It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, what about Yoshimitsu? Yeah, Yoshimitsu's in there. It's not getting as much love and attention as those three though. It's like Yoshimitsu will get a cool design. Those three though. It's like Yoshimitsu will get a cool design And all of his combos from previous games, all those 3 characters get 4 reworks, uh, full combo extenders, full kit rearrangements, and just everything that helped them improve their version of the game life. And it's like everybody else is just like, oh, we're here too, you know. Hey, it's like that. It's like that one friend that you hang out with. Or it's like you have different friend groups, and you think you might be the only friend they have. So it's like, you know, awkward situation. And the final one, the final one, it gets put in good, and really hear me out. Hey, Tekken 5 has had the weird thing in the past. It's like, okay, we understand our last game, we fucked up, it wasn't ready to be released, and then they'll drop the same game but new and improved for the time as a new title. It'll sell. It'll be, obviously it'll be better. It'll be what the people were wanting. They're just like, hey man, you know, could have rolled out an update for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you know, it's all good though. You know, Tekken 5 was okay, but Dark Resurrection was everything the game was trying to be. And thankfully they did that, and I feel like they gave people a much better thing than what they were currently expecting. But overall, you know what I'm saying? This will be my Tekken game ranking. You know, some people might agree, some might disagree. There might be a video out there of me and some guy has a similar list. Me and him might have the exact same list. Who knows? But I'm just a nigga from Alabama that was playing older games when he was younger. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you like it. I don't know. You know, I've really never went full on blown into a video before like today. I'll keep trying, you know. With time comes, you know what I'm saying? There comes improvement, with patience. There's always something to learn from, and just here I am. Peace, man.